This is part 3 of the video for class in Math 113, and we're doing chapter 4D. Now, in chapter 4D, I'm going to take us back. We've jumped all over this outline, but I'm going to take us back to, and this is the outline that we've been working on here that talks about loan payments and credit cards. And we looked at our loan payment formula and how long and drawn out that process is to figure out what we actually have to pay back when we borrow money from anyone. And then we jumped around a little bit, and I wanted to go to page 258, problem number 13 in your book. And the problem states the following. You borrowed $120,000 at an APR of 6%, which you are paying off with monthly payments of $1,013 for 15 years. And the question that we're supposed to answer are, A, identify the amount borrowed, the annual interest rate, the number of payments per year, the loan term, and the payment amount. So we're supposed to fill in. Whoops, let me get that back to where we had it here. We're supposed to fill in these amounts. So we start with payment. Now you borrowed. Payment is what we're going to figure out in a few minutes, but you borrowed this amount of money. That is your principal. So we borrowed $120,000. So we're just identifying these amounts in our problem. The APR is 6%. And we know that we always take the percent and we get rid of the percent and move the decimal to the left too, which gives us 0.06 or 0.06. N is our number of payments. We are making monthly payments, so that would be 12. I'm not sure why this is doing those funny boxes, so let me try to erase some of this and get back to the pen. So N is equal to 12 because there's 12 monthly payments. I have no idea what those boxes are. Okay, now Y equals the loan term in years, and it is for 15 years. So we will go with 15 years. That's what part A is, just identify everything. Now part B says, so this is A, part B in your book states the following. How many total payments does the loan require? What is the total amount paid over the full term of the loan? Well, excuse me, if we're making 12 payments in a year, because it's monthly, so we have 12 each year, and we're going for 15 years, we would take 12 times 15 to find out how many total payments we'll be making. And we'll be making 180, if you work on your calculator there, payments over 15 years. And what will we be paying over the course of that loan? Well, if we're paying this much each month, let's take our 180 payments and times it by our, again, I have no idea why this is doing this. Let's try this again. So we take our 180 times our 1013, which is our monthly payment, and we're going to get 182,340. Okay, that's what we're paying over the lifetime of the loan. $182,340. Okay, now remember, you borrowed $120,000, right? Remember up here, you borrowed $120,000. You're paying back $182,000. So you can kind of see, if you subtracted those two, you'd have what your interest rate is. And maybe that's our third question. Let's see. Question C says, of the total amount paid, what percentage is for the principal and what percentage is for the interest? Well, let's figure out what the interest is. We have 182,340. And let's subtract what we borrowed, 120,000, and we're going to get $62,340, and that is our what? Our interest that we're paying back. So if we want to know what percentage that is, okay, we would take that's just our interest payment. Whoa, to find our percentage now, let's see if I can, this is just giving me all kinds of trouble today, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish this. Let's see. Okay, I had it, almost. Let's try again. Okay, right here. The interest payment, or the total that we borrowed, okay, was $120,000. What percent of that is of the total? So you take $120,000, which is what we borrowed, and you divide it by the total amount that you're paying back, $182,340, and that's going to give you a decimal. That's going to give you 65.8%. You'll get a decimal, and then you'll go to the right too for your percent. So 65.8% of what we're paying back is going to the principal. Okay, now, so 65% of what we're paying back does go towards our principal. Now, how do we figure out what we're paying back in interest? Okay, so our interest payment was $62,340, and we're going to divide that by the total amount spent, or that we have to pay back, $182,340, and you'll get a decimal, and you move it to the right too, and you'll get 34.2%, and this is interest. So of your payment total over the whole lifetime of the payments that you make, 65% goes to your principal and 34% goes to the interest. Okay, let's check out another problem. I know I'm jumping around on this outline with you, but it's such a long outline. Let's see if we can continue to get this to work. Okay, right here. Suppose you have a credit card balance. So you understand now, it doesn't matter if it's a credit card or a bank loan or a school loan or a mortgage loan. This formula tells you what you're going to be paying back long term. And it shows you your interest payment and what you, because you have to pay back what you borrowed, but you're also paying back a whole lot more because the bank let you borrow their money. Excuse me. So let's look at problem 3 here. Suppose you have a credit card balance of $22,300 with an annual interest rate of 21%. You decide to pay off your balance over 1 year. How much will you need to pay each month? Assume you will make no further credit card purchases. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. We have our P is equal to 2,300. Our APR is equal to 21%, which equals 0.21. Okay, our N is how much we need to pay each month, so it's going to be 12, and our Y equals 1 year, because you want to pay it off over 1 year. So our formula is going to be payment equals P, which is 2,300, times 0.21 divided by 12, because that's our yearly interest rate is 0.21. To find out each month what it'll be, we divide it by 12, divided by, in brackets, 1 minus 1 plus 0.21 over 12 again, raised to the negative 12 times 1 and a bracket. And that's going to equal 4 on the numerator. You'll get 40.25 in the numerator, and in the denominator you're going to get 0.18794 to 1195, and that equals $214.16. So how much will you need to pay each month? This will be your monthly payment. Okay, so this wraps up there is another problem that you can actually do on page 259, but for now, this wraps up the outline for chapter 4D. Again, if you're having trouble, you have to really take it step by step on your calculator and write down the values if you're not getting them the first time through. It's just a matter of being careful.